The right that we sought is to restrain the swearing in. So by the court not sitting, we've lost a great deal.
That's right.
If you came and gave a ruling that we don't have a right, it will be understandable. Now you're seemingly staying away from the court. Makes me understand that we have a right, but for one reason or the other, you cannot find the courage to declare that right. So you are now trying to use absence from the court as a means of depriving me of that right. So
the Federal High Court judges sitting in Abuja disappeared from the court as they were to pass a judgment yesterday as to whether Tinubu will be inaugurated on the 29th of May 2023, being on Monday, less than 42 hours from now. And before I give you the details of what actually transpired, let me quickly give you what happened at the Supreme Court and Buhari's thoughts about his 8 years governance. The Supreme Court yesterday threw away PDP suit to disqualify Shettima and Tinubu as the president-elect or the presidential candidate for the 2023 election. You know, that this petition went away for almost a year now, and it's because of the double nomination of Shettima, who was once, nominated, contested for the primary election to be the senatorial candidate from his district. And when the name was withdrawn, and the time his name was submitted to INEC, that was a dispute. So it was something of a double nomination. But according to the Supreme Court, they have this verdict yesterday that quenched the whole drama.
We are not members of APC and we cannot challenge it.
Now,
well, this is the Supreme Court. We can't, like I told them in court, we can't appeal to God. We will stop here. We are bound by their judgment.
The Supreme Court, which is the highest court of the land, have declared, their verdict and giving their judgment in support of the APC. So back to then to Buhari's 8 years administration. There were funny things that he said, that he was able to have peace of mind because
give the Ministry of Finance to a lady. This is to exploit the cultural behavior of all Nigerians. Once ladies are in charge, people feel too big to go to ladies. So I'm sure peace will be allowed in the Ministry of Finance, where people will go and start lobbying for their contracts to be paid and so on and so forth. So they will feel too big to go to a lady. So I put a lady in charge. That gave me a lot of peace. So my decision to get Colonel Hamid Ali to come to Custom is a deliberate one. He set on us in Kaduna State. I had to move to Kaduna State from Kaduna State because from detention I went back home, and we were under Kaduna State, not Kaduna. Kaduna State was not on the political scene then. But for the education and health of my family, this typical African SS, sickle cell anemia, I lost my first two children.
See how Buhari was able to rule Nigeria for the past 8 years. And from what he has said so far that you have watched, you can now align with me and agree with me that the situation you find yourself and the reason why things are the way they are is as a result of that decision. You could see the way the economy and everything went. You could see the way things are not being imported, and probably down to security issues. You know, he's a man that wants to relax and rest as a president. He don't want any stress. So therefore, he put people in place and charged them to do his bidding. And one of his major bidding is that I want to have peace of mind. So secure this place for me, do this for me, do that for me, and then we are good. You know, so if they do bad or good, I don't really think that is his business. So far, he had peace of mind. That's so bad. Now, the judges in Abuja said they went for a conference, and this conference was what made them not to deliver the judgment back on Wednesday. And they adjourned the case till Friday, which was yesterday. And, you know, the case has now been adjourned till next week because the court is undergoing some conferences, or maybe they went for conference, the judges. So now, let's watch what the lawyer have to say, because he...
On Wednesday, the court gave us Wednesday as a day to come for our ruling. And then we were given the same information that the court was attending a conference and that the ruling had been adjourned to today. So I take it that at the time they were adjourning to today, they already knew that they would be out of whatever conference they were going to have. So we're here back today, and they are giving us the same excuse. We don't think that that is a fair way to treat us. You see, this thing, everybody has rights. I think the impression that as litigants, as people who approach the court, we have no rights. We are absolutely at the mercy of the system. It's a very wrong one. Respect begets respect. You have to respect me as a litigant, then I will respect you as the judex.
Has proven beyond reasonable doubt at a court section hearing that Tinubu cannot be inaugurated on the 29th of May 2023. And if you recall, I brought to your notice of how he said that the 25% must be secured in Abuja, and as long as that is not yet been done, it's impossible for anybody to be sworn in because it's unconstitutional. And according to him,
you will pay for it. You pay for it. You are going to tell me why you left the court. And we will fight it to Supreme Court. And maybe we will establish as a precedent that Nigerians ought not to be treated in this fashion.
That's right.
With all due respect to the learned judex, for whom I have the greatest respect. But like I said, you know, this ruling, it will not take 2 minutes.
That's right.
It will not take 2 minutes to deliver the ruling and then get back to any conference that, he's attending. You know, so what I want to say, I have said it, I have written to all the security agencies, I have written to major embassies, I've written to the American embassy, I've written to the British embassy, I've written to the French embassy, German embassy, and I've warned that you cannot make the mistake of installing an unconstitutional president in Nigeria.
That's right.
It will have been better that you resolve this question that we brought before the court. We are not saying that the question must be resolved in our favor. We brought the question here to be resolved. We have a right to have the question resolved. Like I always say, hearing belongs to me, decision belongs to the court. You understand? So You cannot make the mistake of installing somebody unconstitutionally. It's an overthrow of the Constitution. That person, now if you read section 1, subsection 2 of the Constitution, it says, no person or group of persons shall be permitted to take control of the federal government or any part of it, take control of federation or any part of it, except in accordance with the Constitution. That section invests every Nigerian with authority to resist whoever is sworn in,
That's right. Yes.
contrary to the Constitution.
That's right.
Every Nigerian, in every station of life,
Yes.
wherever he is,
That's right.
that is an order from the Constitution to that person.
This is an overthrow of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Is that the right thing? Is it true that the APC-led administration has overthrown the Constitution of Nigeria by installing an unconstitutional president? I will leave this for you to discuss at the comment section and give us your view about this video. Thank you very much. Subscribe if you are not yet a subscriber, and you can share our video and have a positive comment about what we brought to you today. Until next time, I remain Cherry Ariba.